I got a 2005 F350 with a 6-liter. Got a bit of a surge. It kind of surges a little bit. I suspect that the VGT solenoid is not up to snuff. So we're going to test it with our IDS. Ford released this kit here, and you bolt it into the turbo, and it checks the feedback of the vanes moving. Kind of a pain in the neck to do. Not the greatest, funnest test in the world. There are funner tests to do. Had my laptop unplugged for a while. Let's see if my battery's still good. Get this thing loaded up here. I don't know if you can see this with all the glare. Yeah, you might be able to see it. Alright, so we've got our VCM and our VMM loaded up. Both our icons are good down here. Let's go through the test. Now I can't remember where it's at. Oh, yeah, there it is. Turbo boost test. Is that it? Is that it? Turbo. Vane turbo test. There we go. And access to the actuator in the turbo. Pop this out of the way. I had a coat hanger bent up to hold that up with, and I can't find it. So a bungee worked just fine. So you can't see it, but there's a plug right here. I don't want to move the camera right now. So that is the plug. It doesn't hold back any oil or anything like that. It just covers up the little cam down there. There's a little cam that runs back and forth, and that's what we're going to put that sensor on. So it's not a bad job right now, but this engine ain't hot either. When these things are smoking hot, that's when it gets to be a pain in the neck to do this test. So now we're going to take this bolt out, because this is going to be used to hold our clamp on. Just pop this out. And then we'll put our sensor into place. There's I'm dropping it. Now, any of our Duramax fellas, they'll recognize this sensor because the vehicles are already equipped with it. I guess Ford thought it didn't need it. Tighten that down. Let's hook up the cables. I'm just going to hook the C1. Hook up C1. And the other end is going to hook to our sensor. Set that out of the way. Now we can start it up and do our test. Hooked up. Put the tick mark. Follow directions. Key must be in the on position. It is. Taking your sensor readings, and we can start the engine. Alright, see what she does. So we already got some issues. You see that first wave there, it's real slow to respond. That's commanded, that's actual. See how choppy that is? That was completely missing. So, I mean, this step is just completely missing, just hammered. So we're going to take a screenshot of that. Go over here to our paint pad. Paste it. And save it. Save as. JPEG. I'm going to put lazy VGT. Alright, so let's swap in a known good one and then retest. So within this case is a known good VGT solenoid. I got it somewhere along the line, and if you didn't have the capability of doing the test with this IDS computer, then your best bet would be to swap it out with a known good component, which is what we're going to do now before we call the customer. You know, just to be 100% sure and to show you what a good waveform compared to a bad waveform looks like. So the solenoid is right there. Let's change it out. Sensors get so brittle. Makes them hard to unplug without breaking them. Change these out on a hot engine. Whew. I'm talking about painful. Get my trusty pry bar in here. Alright, so let's see here. That's the solenoid. You gotta get close up so it's hard to see it. Me holding it really far away. You know, just looking at them, you can't see anything. You wouldn't know a good one from a bad one. It's got to be in the vehicle being used. So here's mine. I'm not going to kill it though, because it's not going to stay on the vehicle. I'll take it right back off. A little bit of a spring-loaded deal in there. So we gotta at least get it seated. Like so. Put our connector back in. I can retest. Alright, I got the camera at a different angle. Just hope it's better and not worse. So I'm going to retest. Come right over here. So that's much better. I'll take a screenshot of this. So that was, you know, that tester I've got in there is probably got 80,000 miles on it, and it still works good. And that screen, that, what's the word I'm looking for here? Waveform. It's textbook perfect. What I'll do is I'll take those two screenshots I made. When I edit the film, I'll put them side by side so you can see them and compare them. And so what's happening is when that test is going burr, all that noise is coming just simply from the turbo moving, the vanes closing up and opening up. And going down the road, this thing's overshooting. So the PCM commands a little bit, it overshoots it. It backs it off a little bit, it undershoots it, so the whole time the vanes are moving too much, more than it wants, and you surge, you get going down the road. It's annoying as can be. Just, you know, it's like a throttle that has a bunch of carbon and stuff in it. You go to press it from the idle and it won't, you have to give it a little bit more and you take off a little quicker than you want, you know, that smooth transition by the red lights. Something similar to that, just going down the road. So we're going to, I'm not going to film it because God knows when we'll actually get a VGT from this thing. I'm going to try to get this edited up right on the tube. But we'll put a VGT in it and you know, check it for codes. There's no codes in it to begin with. That's what makes this a difficult problem to chase down unless you've seen it before or going on previous experience. The first one, you know, it ate my lunch, but anytime a customer complains about a surge on a VGT turbo diesel, I suspect that right away. And whether it be, you know, any of them, Dodge, Duramax, Cummins, you know what I'm trying to say. Luckily I'm a Ford guy. So I'm going to stop the film here. Thank you for watching. Taking this sensor testicle and back off here, get you a little better view of what this plug location looks like. Couldn't really see it where I had the camera set up before. So goes, oops, right there, and a hole right there.